Okay, it says we're live, so we have action today. Let's get the show on the road. Welcome to my healthy living page, and it's Heather. We are going to talk a little bit about where's my book? About the book that I'm sharing chapters out of, the Emotional Eaters Book of Inspiration by Deb Danowski. And I'm going chapter by chapter, and they're short little chapters, but they give us kind of tasks to do every day for the next 90 days. And this is day 4 for me. So welcome everyone. If this is your first time here, please allow StreamYard access to your profile picture. We'll get that little ticker tape going across the bottom, and we'll have a chat. We'll get right into this. Like I said, my name is Heather Edmondson, as you can see right there, and we are coming at you live, or I am coming at you live here this afternoon from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. And it is about lunchtime here, and it's going to be up to 35 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a hot one. So trying to stay in the air conditioning and stay cool. So this is day 4, like I said, of the 90 days that I'm going to go live with you. And are you telling yourself some food lies then that you're actually believing can help you get away from eating the bad things, or you're telling yourself that you can have these and you are eating the bad things and you're feeling okay about it. One of the examples would be just one won't hurt me. So you tell that to yourself, and then you have one, and then you end up having another one, and then you end up having another one, and then you have the guilt and those things, and it's not a good trend to set. Hello, Pat. Thank you for jumping in here. We have some company today. Hello, Pat. Wonderful to see you. Another lie that we tell ourselves is, I really don't eat that much. But if you ever were to write things down and actually see how much you eat in a day, or how much pop you have in a day, or for my American friends, the soda that they might have in a day, it's actually a lot more than you would think. Another lie that you might tell yourself is that your body size doesn't bother me, or doesn't bother yourself, right? You might tell yourself those things just so that you can make it through the day and eat those things that you probably shouldn't have, and that you shouldn't be eating. So those are just a few examples. I'm sure we all have our own. Let me know what some of your lies that you might be telling to yourself might be. So do you choose to believe them? And if you do choose to believe some of those lies that you're telling yourself, that is a really easy way to set yourself up for becoming an emotional eater. We kind of get set up from this right from birth, because our body needs food right from the get-go to survive. So we know that this is something that we need in our lives every day to sustain ourselves. And then as a toddler, when you're potty training, for example, a toddler, you might give them a treat of an M&M or a Smartie or a sucker for them going on the potty. So then they start associating, your brain starts to associate, oh, if I do something really good, if I behave really well and I do what I've been asked, then I will be rewarded with candy or a lollipop or anything like that. And so then, like I said, your brain starts to associate food with reward, just like when you are training an animal or a pet, a dog. You tell it to sit and you give it a little treat, and then you try and make it heel beside you and you give it a treat, and it's a positive reinforcement that way. So then they start associating food with being a good animal. We have to start training ourselves that. Well, our brain gets trained by getting these rewards. By you do the task, and then you get rewarded with food, and then you feel better. Yet the food is just kind of sabotaging us along the way, because, like I said, it could be unhealthy food choices that we are picking, and it's setting us up for failure by, like I said, having that piece of candy or that piece of cake or that lollipop, any of those things. Like you said, your brain is getting wired to think that food is always what you need to associate with good behavior. Just like I mentioned yesterday, if you would have caught my live, that our brain is wired that now we celebrate all kinds of things like graduations and weddings and any of those with a celebration of food as well. So if you want to follow up a little bit more on that, you can look at my video from yesterday. So later in life, we're not getting the same satisfaction by eating that food. Maybe that was, I might have mentioned before, my mom's homemade cinnamon buns that she used to make. And that is a comfort food. She used to make them at least once a week when we were growing up, because we didn't have all the handy kind of snack foods that they have around now with granola bars and those things. So mom used to bake cookies and pies and cinnamon buns just about pretty much every week, and that was our treat, and that was our reward for good behavior. And so trying to get that same feeling that you would from having just one piece or one cinnamon bun is not the same as you can't achieve that anymore. You can't get to that same high. It's kind of like an addiction to alcohol or to drugs. The person is always trying to seek that next high, that next good feeling, and every time they get to that level, they always have to add more to achieve that same feeling. And that's the same thing with emotional eating. You want to add more and more and more to get that same kind of feeling, and then the more you add, then the more guilt you throw on yourself, and the more uncomfortable you are about talking yourself down and beating yourself up about having that extra piece of cake or that extra cookie. Like for a while there, when we were in lockdown here, my husband was baking all kinds of cookies, and I said, you have to stop, because every time I'd walk by the counter, there'd be a container full of cookies, and I would want to have one, and I'll just have one, and then I'd go do something else, and I'd come back and walk by the counter, and I'll just have one. One's not that bad, and that's some of the lies that we were telling ourselves. That, just one's not going to hurt, right? And then you end up eating way more than one. So deep down, we know it's not good, and we can't. And then we can't help ourselves, because, like I said, we get caught in that rut and that loop, and we keep going over and over those things in our head, saying, oh, one's not going to hurt, or I'm just going to have that because that's what's being served in that person's house that you're going to, maybe for a special occasion, and you don't want to offend anybody. So we need to recognize what kinds of lies we're telling ourselves. We need to be clear about them and find out what is the ones that trigger us. And when you feel that you're going to be telling yourself a lie, or you're going to be telling yourself an untruth, try and pause for a second, try and stop and catch yourself in that moment, and maybe write down the feeling or the thought that you are using to say that it is okay to, like I said, have that piece of cake or that drink of pop or soda for my American friends. Pause and write it down. I've found that actually journaling what I'm eating in a day makes it real. And then you can actually visualize how many things you've eaten in a day and how many things maybe aren't the best choice, the best food choice. And I mean, don't kid yourself, and don't just say, well, if I don't write it down in that journal, if I don't write it down on that list, it doesn't count because I didn't eat it. Well, in your back of your mind that you actually ate that. So I've found that journaling every time I eat something, or I've meal planned out for the day, and I've written down exactly what I'm going to eat and the time frames that I'm going to eat them in. I've found that has helped. Maybe that's something that you could try too, and it might help keep you on track. And it might make it easier to not have those things that are tempting you or those triggers in your home. Listen to the words that you're telling yourself, like I said, and the things that you're saying to justify eating that said whatever it is that's triggering you, that extra bowl of pasta that you don't need because you're already full. You just haven't given your tummy a sense of feeling that you're full yet, and you think, oh, I'll just have another bowl of pasta, and then you end up feeling awful after you've ate it because you've eaten too much. Let's really dig deep and identify the truth. The truth sometimes hurts when you actually find out what it is that you're actually saying to yourself, and digging deep and being honest with yourself about what it is you're saying about the food that you're putting in your mouth. I know I mentioned before that bag of Oreos, you think you're only going to grab one, but then you end up sitting down and eating the whole bag, and then you turn around, you've got crumbs all over your lap and crumbs all over your face, and then you beat yourself up. So don't beat yourself up. Start again from ground zero in the next minute after that has happened, and say, I'm not going to let myself get into that rut. I'm not going to give myself that lie that says that that's okay to eat like that. So I task you to, in the next couple of days, write a list of some of the things that you have been saying to yourself, and the lies, and maybe get back to me and then let me know what you've been saying and what has been your trigger point, and what has been your hurdle that you've had to overcome. And that is it for this chapter of today from the Emotional Eaters Book of Inspiration. So again, my name is Heather, and I'm here to help and assist you anyway in your journey to fitness and health the best way that I know possible. I can provide some coaching, and I can do some meal planning, or send you out a PDF of some recipes that I've been using, especially in this last week of detoxing. Yesterday I had broccoli soup, and it was pretty darn tasty. So I've lost 5 pounds already, and I've noticed an increase in energy and in the fitness and weight loss challenge that I'm participating in. So if you are interested in hearing more about the up and coming video challenge that will be starting at the end of August, here the 19th of August till the 10th of December, it's a 21-day video challenge to go live in your group or on your page. And I can send you a little bit more information about that. And that is the best way to increase your viewership on your page, is to do live video just like I'm doing here right now. You get to connect with your fans and your followers, and you get to create a tribe of people that get to know, like, and trust you, because they can actually see you and hear you and see how you react to things. So if you had gained some value from today, please do pass this along to anyone else that might benefit from the tips that I've shared with you, and have yourself a nice rest of the day, whatever time of the day it is for you. Thanks everyone for popping on here live today, and anyone coming in on the replay, don't forget to let me know that you're coming in on the replay. And like I said, have yourself a wonderful day. In Canada, stay cool and stay hydrated. Get your water in for the day, and we'll check you all tomorrow at noon. Bye-bye.